Afternoon, everybody. I'm Neil Kerwin. I'm the president of American University, and I'm happy you were able to join us this afternoon for what is a very important announcement. I think, as all of you know, for the past several weeks, we've been engaged in a nationwide search for a new head coach of our men's basketball team. It is an extremely important appointment for us, and I'm now pleased to introduce Dr. William Walker, who is our Director of Athletics and Recreation, on his 11th day on the job, to announce the results of that search and to introduce a member of the American University community that's even newer than he is. Billy?
Yeah, this works out good. I'm the old guy now, so I've been here a long time. Well, it's a great day to be an Eagle, isn't it? So we're really fired up. First, before I even get started, I want to recognize some special guests. Mike's wife, Alana, thank you very much and welcome. And we're glad to have you part of the Eagle family. So thank you very much for coming. And Mike's parents, Rich and Joanne, drove down from Elizabeth, New Jersey this morning once they found out. So obviously we didn't do a real good job of keeping this secret if they had 4 hours to get down here. So no, I'm kidding. So thank you very much. That's great to hop in a car and get down here. So I know that makes it special for Mike and special for all of us. That's really great to see family like that. I can't tell you how excited I am to be standing here today introducing Mike Brennan as a new head men's basketball coach at American University. We had some unbelievably fantastic applicants, and it was a difficult decision. But Mike quickly rose to the top and stayed there. First, though, I'd like to thank some of the great people who took a tremendous amount of time to help us in this search process. First, Dr. Gail Hansen, the Vice President of Student Life. I have not seen it. There she is. Gail, thank you very much. David Taylor, the President's Chief of Staff, at his normal perch up there. There you go, David, thank you. David Aldridge, who is, I don't know how to describe him, we'll say a professional basketball analyst and proud member of the class of 86 87, and more, that doesn't even come close to describing how supportive he is of the program and what a fan, and the amount of time, we were calling him at 4 in the morning in LA between playoff games. He was getting up and telephoning in and sitting all day on listening to interviews. So David, thank you so much. That was well above and beyond the call, so thanks a lot, David. Travis Lay, who is unable to be here today, who I think a lot of you will remember, class of 08, a tremendous player and a member of the Patriot League Championship and NCAA tournament team. We also had some great help from two of our trustees, Jack Cassell, who I know is here. Jack, thank you very much. And Alan Meltzer, who I do not believe was able to make it today. These are tremendous members of the American University community and really care about the future of our university, so thank you very much. When we began this search, we looked for 4 qualities in a new head coach, and Mike hit each one of them out of the ballpark. First, we wanted a coach of the highest integrity and character, and to me this was non-negotiable. Mike's a man of unquestioned integrity, and it was absolutely clear from everyone I talked to. Next, we wanted a proven, relentless recruiter who understands how to recruit to an academically rigorous institution like American. Mike's not only demonstrated that capability at Princeton and Georgetown, but also at American University itself. We also wanted someone who understands his role as a leader, not only on his team, but among our boosters and alumni in the local DC community and within our department itself. Mike clearly understands and accepts that challenge. Lastly, we wanted a coach who is a teacher of the game and an expert at player development. There's absolutely no doubt that Mike excels in these areas. Between Princeton, American University, and Georgetown, he's been to the NCAA tournament 9 of his 13 years as a coach. And then one of those other years he went to the NIT. That's a pretty impressive record right there. Mike comes from a long line of tremendous coaches from whom he either played with, or played for, or coached with. Coaches like Pete Carroll, Bill Carmody, Joe Scott, Jeff Jones, and John Thompson III. These coaches rave about Mike's knowledge of the game, his uncanny ability to connect with and recruit student athletes, and then develop them to their full potential. They talk about his work ethic and toughness, and they rave about the fact that he is just flat out a great coach. I certainly validated all these opinions, from his former student athletes to his fellow coaches to administrators alike. They all said the same thing about Mike Brennan. And it all led me to the conclusion that Mike was the right man to take American Eagles to new heights. So with that, let's share the American dream with our new head men's basketball coach, Mike Brennan.
All right, well, I'd first like to thank everyone for being here today. First off, I'm really excited to be the next head coach here at American University. I'd like to thank first everyone who took part in the search committee process and the interview process. Jack and Alan and David called in, and he's here today, and I really appreciate that. And it showed me, how many proud alums are here that care about the program, and that got me real excited. So I'm excited to be a part of that. And I'd especially like to thank our athletic director, Billy Walker, and President Kerwin. Obviously it's one of Billy's first decisions here, and I'm grateful for the confidence you have in me, and I'm looking forward to working with you as part of your team. And President Kerwin, I know how much American University means to you, not just as a president, but as a proud alum. And I know how important it was going to the Patriot League Championship, and I was here and part of those 2 years, and I want to experience that again too. So I'm looking forward to trying to get back there. A few people that I'd like to acknowledge. There was several guys that gave me a chance to become a college coach, and started with Armand Hill at Columbia University, who's now an assistant with the Boston Celtics. Coach Carmody, who hired me initially at Princeton, and then he took off 3 months later to go to Northwestern. And Coach Thompson was left with me. Coach Thompson was an assistant for Coach Carmody, and so when Billy took off, it was just me and John, and I appreciate the fact that just right away he seamlessly said, okay, let's get recruiting, let's find our other assistant. There was no, am I going to keep Mike, am I not? It was just, we're a team, let's get started here, and that meant a lot to me. And then I worked for Joe Scott at Princeton, who's now out at Denver doing great things out there. I had the great fortune of coming here to work for Jeff, and that was a great experience. And I'm always grateful. I don't think I'd be here today if Jeff didn't hire me. So I'm grateful to him for that. And then working with John again at Georgetown has been a tremendous experience, and I learned a lot from all of those guys about how to run a program, and just everything that goes into it. And I think everywhere I've been, the places have similar values, and the people at all those places have similar values, and that's the type of program that I want to have here at American. And I just want to wish Jeff luck, down at Old Dominion. I think he's built a strong foundation here, and I'm looking forward to building upon that, and I know he's going to do great down there, and I'm happy for him. And then lastly, my high school coach, Ben Candolino. There's a lot of great high school coaches that came out of New Jersey, and he's one of them. He's one of the best, and he was a reason that I was prepared to go to Princeton and play for Coach Carroll. And Coach Carroll mentions that all the time. And I'd like to lastly acknowledge Pete Carroll. He's the biggest basketball influence in my life. And he said that high school coaches are the salt of the earth. And I had an idea, because I had a great high school coach at the time, that was true. But now, after having been a coach for 13 years, I understand even more how important high school coaches really are. And I mean, Coach Carroll was a great recruiter, a great coach, but at heart, he was a teacher. And I think that's what separated him from his peers, and why he was so successful, and why he's in the Hall of Fame. And you know, I think that's how I see myself, as a recruiter and a coach, but a teacher. And I'm looking forward, you know, to him hopefully coming down and catching some workouts and practices and watching us play, and I hope he likes what he sees. You know, when I first got to AU, I immediately recognized how special and how dynamic of a place it was. You know, I know it's a place that attracts students from all over the country and all over the world, and we've had players from all over the country, and international players as well. So I want to continue to do that. You know, I think it's a dynamic place and an unbelievable university that can attract the best talent, and you know, we're going to do that. All right. So as an assistant, you're sort of always thinking about, you know, envisioning a program that you're going to run, about eventually becoming a head coach, and you're not a head coach, so you know, you're either at a place that has strong values, which I had the good fortune of being, but it always starts with your own values. And I was lucky enough to have this opportunity here to come to American, where I think the values of the university are consistent with the values that I have and the values that I envision my program having. So I'm, you know, real excited about the opportunity here and moving forward. You know, our program, we're going to bring in great students, you know, great people of character, and great players. We're going to compete, learn, and grow on a daily basis. We're going to, you know, represent ourselves, our program, and the university with integrity and with class. And our goal is to win a Patriot League championship and compete in the NCAA tournament. I think that's every school in our league's goal, and that's ours. And it starts right away, and I don't think any of those things are mutually exclusive. I think you need all of those components to be good. And I think, lastly, I think the way we play will be a big part of creating an identity. And I think it's something that our players, first and foremost, it's great to see all our guys in the stands here, and I'm looking forward to working with these guys here. I may not have recruited them, but they're my guys now, and I'm excited to be their coach. And I just spoke with them in the locker room today. You know, I don't know if I had them bouncing off the walls necessarily, you know, but I can't wait to get on the court with them. I know, you know, we're going to make a good connection here. But I think that the way we play and the values that our program will have will show up on the court, and that we'll be able to, you know, it'll be something that our students, our faculty, our administrators, the AU community, our alums, and our supporters can all identify with and relate to and take ownership of. And I'm looking forward to hopefully attracting as many supporters, as many people here to Bender as we can. So I just want to say I'm excited. You know, that's probably the second or third time I said excited, so I know I'm not going to beat Tebow's record here today. But I really am truly excited. I'm looking forward to leading AU basketball forward. So, I mean, our SID told me to smile a lot, so I can only do one thing at a time. So I'm sorry I'm not smiling as I'm, you know, saying my remarks here. But it's great to be here, and I'm excited. And I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to open up to a Q&A.
And Mike, Gene Wong, Washington Post. You had mentioned the foundation Jeff built. Where do you envision the program going beyond that, and what do you think you can bring to kind of take it to the next level?
Well, I mean, I think I've been a part of programs with tradition of winning and a tradition of still excelling in the classroom. I think that's something that, you know, I'd like to establish here. I think it's a place that we can be good for an extended period of time, for a consistent period of time. You know, I want American University to be synonymous with, you know, those guys go to the tournament every year. You know, that's going to be our goal, and that's our goal every single year. And it's going to be this upcoming year. So normally I'm not a guy that talks about, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, we're going to win championships. Coach Carroll had always said, talk like a pessimist but work like an optimist. I don't think that works, and with all the media today, you can't do that. But we're going to definitely work like optimists here to achieve that.
Hey, Mike, congratulations. Kevin Dunleavy, Washington Examiner. Can we expect to see the Princeton offense here?
I think the Princeton offense is a bit of a misnomer. We're going to share the ball. And I mentioned Pee Wee. Where's Pee Wee? Pee Wee's fast. All right, he's going to get up and down the court. So, if we have fast guys, we're going to use that to our advantage. So, basically, in my mind, what I learned from Coach Carroll was share the ball, throw it to the open guy, take advantage of what you have on your team. We're going to have guys that are all fundamentally sound. We're going to play as a unit. We're going to defend and compete. I think Coach Carroll, no one talks about the Princeton defense. No one scored against that guy. He won, so he was maybe scoring 50 points, but the other team had 49. And I just find it interesting that no one ever says the Princeton defense. It's always the Princeton offense. But I think everyone has their different take on it, and I have mine. And it's just basic principles of sharing the ball. And I don't think Coach got enough credit for being, adaptable. He had really fast guys in the 70s, and they were in the, won the NIT. So they scored a lot of points. He had Jeff Petrie on his team. The guy was scoring like 50 points, several times. Brian Taylor, guys like that. So we're going to play according to our strengths. We're going to try and get big, fast guys that are good. So that that'll dictate how we play.
Mike, Ben Standig with CSN Washington. You mentioned Coach Thompson is here. Just your thoughts on what have you learned from being on his bench the last few years, and what kind of advice did he give you during this process?
I'm real fortunate to work with a guy like Coach Thompson. I think I keep mentioning the word values in a program, and I think that's one thing that his program has. He's able to win at a high level. We're able to win over 20 games. We won 25 games this past year, won a regular season Big East championship, and we still have guys that are going to class and doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. So I learned how to run a program and not compromise your ideals. And I learned a little bit how to be, calm under pressure. He's Mike, settle down. I was always going crazy on the bench and, getting excited, and he was just always, nothing ever seemed to faze him, and I think it shows up in his teams. His teams rarely get rattled or get phased, and so I learned a great deal, but it's mostly off the court stuff, and what kind of guy he is and what kind of program he runs, and I hope to, emulate that as much as I can.
How you doing, Coach? Congratulations. Charles Walton from ESPN 980. The DMV produces a lot of great basketball players locally every year. What type of impact do you plan to have on recruiting as far as recruiting players from the area that may fall through the cracks that don't go to some of the larger programs?
Right. Well, I think you're right. I think there's tons of great players that are great students here in this area, and we're going to use all our resources to attract those kids here. I think American is such, there's so many attractive things about this place that I would think kids want to stay close to home and want to be in DC and not have to go away to some of these other places, that I don't want to say other places in our league, but I want to keep them here in DC. There's too many attractive things here at this university and in the city. So we're going to do all we can to recruit strongly regionally.
Josh Pondell, Airborne Magazine. Welcome, Coach. How familiar are you with the 3 guys currently signed, and have you been able to contact them yet?
Well, I'm not allowed to contact them. I haven't been allowed to contact them yet, but that'll be the first thing that I do. And I've spoken with several, people about each of them. I actually saw Yuljep play. I'm going to call him YY from now on. I see why everybody does, but I've seen him play, and I know that he can bring a lot to the table. His rebounding and physicality. But I've seen a couple of the guys on tape. But I think it's important that I reach out to them immediately and make contact with them and, you know, develop a relationship and re-recruit them here. And that's the first thing to do.
Eric Saltzman with the Eagle. Welcome, first of all. And what you said you talked to the team earlier in the locker room. What was that message that you told the players?
Well, just I understand the transition's always difficult, and I just wanted to sort of try to generate some enthusiasm about the upcoming year, try to get them excited. I don't know how good of a job I did, but you know, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to coach them. You know, I wanted them to know that, you know, I look at our roster and what I see excites me, and I'm looking forward to coaching these guys. And I think we can be, you know, competitive and be good right away. And I want, you know, that in their mindset as we move along here through the summer. And we're going to, you know, do all we can to sort of get to know each other as quickly as possible.